Okay, so I know this is a different type of video than what I normally do. Um, yeah, I just posted a vlog, but this actually isn't a vlog. I thought I would try this out because I've seen it on YouTube recently, and I personally like watching these videos because I think it's really interesting. But we're gonna be reading Reddit stories today. I've picked out 5 Reddit stories to read, and I actually don't really know what they're about. I like screened them. I previewed them a little bit, but I don't fully know what they're about. These are all from r/am I the butthole. I'm not gonna cuss either. So I'm gonna give an initial rating based on the title, and then I'm gonna read the story, obviously. And then I'm gonna kind of like talk about my thoughts on it, and then from there give like a different score. So let's just get into this. We have 5 stories. So this first one is by much_potential6323. And it's called Am I the Butthole for Being a Choosing Beggar? So they put choosing beggar in like quotes, that's why I did this. I don't really know. I'm gonna say, well, for being a choosing beggar, I'm gonna say like a 2 out of 5 because I don't think that's like the worst thing in the world. There's definitely things that are a lot worse, but I'm gonna give them a 2 out of 5 if they were being a choosing beggar. And they also put it in air quotes so they might not see that they are being one. So let's just start reading this. I'm 27 female, currently in a bit of a financial bind. I have some collectibles that I'm selling for a decent price, little cheaper than market price, for money. Some of these are limited edition video games, out of print edition books, and some rare manga. Most of them would sell for $150 to $300 because they're collector's items. I listed the manga for Cowboy Bebop on eBay, and the start price for the auction is $75. I paid that much when I bought them, and the median price for all 5 volumes seems to be about $150 to $200. My friend messaged me and said she wants the manga for her boyfriend's birthday. I asked her how much she's offering, and she said $30. I said no, and the price is firm, even for a friend. Then she upped the price to $35, still too low. I sent her a link to the auction and said she could bid on it like everyone else. I added that if she doesn't like it, she's not worth being friends for such a lowball offer, knowing that I'm in a bind. She's upset and called me a choosing beggar because I refused to sell something for so cheap. Am I the butthole? Okay, as you can see, that one part took me off guard. I don't really know much about like collector's items, especially stuff like manga or like comic books. I've never been into that stuff myself. But like I kind of agree. It's like if you set a price and it's like a firm price and you need the money, like you're not gonna back down from that price, honestly. So I don't really think that this person is necessarily a butthole for being like, hey, well, I'm kind of staying firm to the price. Like, I need to stay firm to this price. They are a butthole, though, for saying that to their friend. Because what did they say? They said, I added that if she doesn't like it, she's not worth being friends for such a low ball offer knowing that I'm in a bind. I don't think either are necessarily a butthole for the initial argument, being like, hey, is there any way I can get this for a cheaper price? I do think the friend maybe was pushing it by saying, well, what about 35? After OP initially said, hey, well, I'm firm to my price, so I can't really do that. But I think that's like a no butthole situation. But going right out and saying, hey, you're not worth being friends because you're not going to do this, that's insane. That's like actually insane. Like, I don't think that OP's problem is there being a choosing beggar. I think they're just getting overly aggressive over something that is so small. Like, that's just insane to me. I don't think I would ever say that to someone over something that I find as small as this. So I'm actually going to change my answer, I think, to 3 out of 5 buttholes, just because that is like actually insane to call somebody that, or like to say that to somebody over such a small issue. So 3 out of 5 buttholes is my final rating on that story. Okay, so I don't know what happened with the other 4 stories I had planned, But apparently they got deleted. I just went through and found 4 more that were posted recently, so they shouldn't be deleted, hopefully. But I got the next one up. This doesn't really show a username, so I don't really know who wrote it. And there's also names in this story, so for the wife, I'm just going to call her wife. And for the daughter, I'm just going to call her daughter to make it easy. This one is titled, Am I the Butthole for Making My Daughter Quit Her Job? So right off the bat, it doesn't really give him much information on why the father made his daughter quit. So I'm going to say maybe like 1 out of 5 buttholes, just because it's like, well, why'd you make her quit? Actually, no, not 1. We're going to do 0.5 out of 5 because it's a little like, dang, well, you just made her quit and she's trying to make money and like be responsible. But at the same time, like, what were his reasons behind it? So let's just start reading. I am 43 male. My wife is 42 female and our daughter is 17 female. My wife and I got married after college, went on to get good jobs in our respective careers, and we make a combined $485K. Wow. We have a nice home, we live in a nice neighborhood, and we feel really blessed to have the lives we have and to be able to give daughter things that we couldn't afford growing up. We pay for daughter's food, her car, her back-to-school clothes, and supplies each year. We have a yearly vacation, but outside of that, if she wants extras, we give her $100 each month as an allowance for trips, weekend plans with friends, shopping, etc. Okay, so like so far that sounds pretty reasonable to me. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty good family. It sounds like these parents have worked really hard. And they're not necessarily like spoiling their daughter, in my opinion. I think that they're being pretty fair. And I mean, I don't know, but it really sounds like they're trying not to give her a whole lot, even though they are paying for things like her car and they go on vacations and stuff. Yeah, I think like outside of those things, they're really trying not to spoil her. We try to tread the right side of the line between taken care of and spoiled. Yeah, so it sounds like they're really trying not to spoil her. So a year ago, when daughter said she needed more money one time, she wanted concert tickets, I think, we told her it was time to get her own part-time job and learn what it means to make and be responsible with her own money. Yeah, I think that's a really good time to do it. Like, hey, if you really want this thing, we have a set allowance for you, but if you need more, go get a job. That's exactly what I would say. There was a bit of grumbling to begin with, but we helped her job hunt and she landed a nice part-time position in a cafe that doesn't pay tipped wages. After several months of her working, we told her we would be taking away her allowance and letting her stand on her own 2 feet now, just with extras like I outlined above. We did not make her responsible for rent or bills or necessary food/clothes. Okay, yeah, so I think again, they're like trying not to spoil their daughter, and it makes sense. She's making her own money now. There's no need for them to really give her money anymore. Yeah, so now that she's like making her own money, there's no need for them to be giving her an allowance anymore, in my opinion. And I think that's pretty fair. She's still living with them, like she needs food and stuff. I think that's really fair of them to be like, okay, we'll pay for food, we got all this other stuff, but like you're not getting any extra money now besides in this case, what it sounds like they're deeming as essentials. I think that's pretty fair. Again, there was some pushback, but she got used to it. A couple months back, she worked all day during weekends instead of hanging out with friends, which was unusual, but I thought she was saving for something. It turns out she was saving for booze for a party. Okay. And we were woken up at 3 a.m. by a call from the police station with daughter saying she got caught driving drunk. Okay, see, that's not okay. You're underage. She's 17. That's like my age. That's illegal. The age is 21. We let her spend a few more hours in the jail cell before we came and got her, and I've decided she will pay any fines or court costs from her own money, and she will be quitting her job. Yeah, I kind of think that that's pretty fair. I mean, if that's what she was trying to, maybe not making her quit her job, but maybe being more aware of what she is spending for. Because, I mean, it is her money, but at the same time, she is a minor and she was saving that money to do something that's illegal for someone her age. So I don't necessarily think making her quit her job is the best way to do this, but definitely making her pay for what she did, like pay for the court fines, pay for everything else, because you're not supposed to be doing that. She will get no allowance. She will take the bus to school and back, and she is grounded with the exception of performing the community service I'll expect she'll be sentenced to. Yeah, I think all of this pretty much sounds pretty fair. Like, don't do that. I went with her to work a few days ago and told her boss she would be quitting effective immediately, and that I'm sorry for any impact my daughter's behavior and the consequences of said behavior have on his business. Daughter has screamed at me that I'm being unfair, but I believe the punishment fits the crime here. Am I the butthole? So there is an edit, but I'm going to say real quick, I really don't think that this father is the butthole. I think maybe making her quit her job isn't what I would do, but maybe just I would start to ask more, like be like, hey, what are you saving for? What are you saving for? Like, I would ask more questions about it, because again, it's her money, but if she's doing something illegal with it, like, you can't just let her do something illegal with it. Okay, here's the edit. To clear some things up, she is taking the school bus to school, not a public transit bus. I did not take her car away. It got damaged and is in the shop. Okay, so did she crash her car? Is that what she did? I'm not destroying her savings to get her to pay the fines. She's going to sell some of the designer clothing she bought. That's pretty fair. Her court costs and fines won't be that much, as the fines are being brought down in favor of giving her lots of community service, which is another reason why she can't keep her job. Even if she wanted to, she won't have time for school, the job, and her community service at once. Something would have to go. Okay, so that doesn't really change it. Yeah, she definitely has to do the community service, but I feel like, don't make her quit her job. I still wouldn't make my daughter quit her job. I think I would be more like, hey, you got to be the one to tell your boss why you need to take some time off, and you got to explain what you did and why you have to go do this community service. Not in like an embarrassing way, but more of a, you got to take responsibility for your actions. And if you need to take this time off, your boss probably needs to know. You got to tell him why you're taking this time off. So I think I'm actually going to give this dad, I still think I'm going to give him 0 out of 5, because I think this is a very fair response, especially because these parents totally could have paid this for her and could have bailed her out, but they're trying to not raise their kid to be a spoiled brat. And so I think that it is very fair of them to do these things. Again, I don't think I would necessarily make her quit her job, but I would be like, you have to tell your boss why you're going to need some time off. And I don't know if there was a final verdict, because this was fairly recent. Sorry, my computer's like going crazy. I really hope you can't hear that. We're just going to go on to the next one though. We read that one very long. Oh, I totally skipped over a story. We're going to the next one, though. This one is by Gullible Oceans 6377. And it's titled, Am I the butthole for making my future in-laws uncomfortable by talking more openly about my adoption and my parents? Okay, so I'm going to say automatically, like, this is a 0 out of 5 buttholes. Because well, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I feel like if your intent was to make them uncomfortable, that might give you like a 0.25, just because it's like you're intending to make someone uncomfortable. But again, why are the in-laws so uncomfortable about talking about adoption? So I don't really know what rating to give this first one, because there's definitely a lot of backstory to this, and you need that context to really make a verdict on this. Okay, so this one also has a name in it. I'm just going to call this person fiance. So I, 25 male, am engaged to my fiance, also 25 female. Since we started actively planning our wedding, fiance's family, but mostly her parents, have developed an obsession with stating how tragic/sad/unfortunate, etc. it is that I won't have my real family there, and that there'll be no blood relatives of mine present for the wedding of our life together. Fiance has told them my real family are my dad's and my siblings, but they wave that off like it's BS. Fiance has told them the topic is to be closed, and we have left on a couple of occasions because they brought it up since. But this last time, I decided to be open. Yeah, okay, so why is this family going after OP for being adopted? They clearly don't want to talk about it in the way that this family is talking about it, because they're kind of making fun of OP and being like, oh, it's so sad. You don't know what happened to this person. Like, maybe something tragic did happen and that's why they were adopted. Maybe they were put up for adoption when they were a baby and they don't even know their real family. And honestly, real family, like, that doesn't mean they're blood relatives. They clearly view that their dads and their siblings are their real family, and that's all that matters, is that they would have their real family there. It says, background. I was removed from my biological parents at the age of 5 and placed in foster care. I had a very unstable 2 years before I met my dad and my pa. I was 7 when I moved in with them, 9 when I became eligible for adoption. In that same year, I welcomed the first of my 2 siblings. I was so lucky to find my parents and to end up with the family I have. I remember clearly some of the bad with my biological family and don't miss that. Okay, so clearly OP probably doesn't even want their biological family there. So why is this family getting so worked up about this? So I told my future in-laws that I didn't find it tragic at all, that people who can make a 5-year-old feel so unloved that they never see a future where someone could care for them. Okay, that's so sad. That you can be surrounded by those who share your DNA and never experience kindness or love. I told them I could not imagine having any of those people in my life today and could not imagine thinking DNA means more than love. It truly doesn't. It doesn't. I told them I was miserable being with those people and I wished every day for someone to love me, and that I didn't know love until I was 7 and I met my parents. And more specifically my dad, who embodies love and is hands down the most loving, caring, compassionate, and thoughtful person I have ever met. Oh, this is so sad. I feel so bad for this person. Like, just, oh my gosh. He's my shining example of someone who loves and has such a deep capacity to love. I told them my real parents and the dad and pa who took in a kid who was so depressed and scared and dragged down that he didn't eat like a normal person and was afraid to sleep and would often cry when sleep did overtake him. Oh my gosh. I told them that my real parents are the people who walked me to school every morning, who sat and helped me catch up with school and homework because I was so far behind that I should have been back in kindergarten. Oh my God. I told them my real family are the parents and siblings who know I do not share their DNA, but love me anyway, and have been there for me through every single step of my life since I was 7, and who made me a forever part of their family through adoption. My future in-laws were silent after that, but they told me I humiliated them and made them uncomfortable in their home, and I shouldn't have spoken like that. Fiance told them they should learn to quit and apologize to me. Am I the butthole? No. Like, do I even need to go into this? 0 out of 5, not the butthole. Why are the in-laws? I'm going to give them, like, 2 out of 5, because why are they getting so worked up about something? OP has told them they don't find this tragic. This is just what they accept. It sounds like they don't talk about this all that much. And it sounds like they're just bringing it up to bring it up and cause stuff. Like, why? Why do that? There is no point for them to be talking about this at all. Especially, they're not respecting OP and their fiance's boundaries, because they've told them, it sounds like numerous times, not to talk about it, and they continue talking about it. So what are they doing? Why? Why even do that? There's no point. So yeah, OP, 0 out of 5. Your in-laws, 2 out of 5, because they're not respecting your boundaries, and they're trying to cause drama or something. We're down to 4 stories again, because somehow that story got deleted, like, immediately. Okay, this next one is by Throwaway Sadsmaid, and it's not, am I the butthole? It's, would I be the butthole? So this is titled, Would I be the butthole for not showing up to a wedding I'm a part of without giving a reason? So based off the title alone, yes, a little bit. I would say probably, I'm going to give this person like a 2 out of 5, because you're a part of the wedding. You're not just a guest. Like, you are a bridesmaid or like the maid of honor. And you're not giving a reason as to why you won't make it. And you're just ditching this person. Like, that's not cool. Don't do that. So I'm going to give them a 2 out of 5, especially on like a wedding. That's such an important day. Like, don't do that. My brother, 31 male, is getting married in a few weeks to my best friend since childhood, 27 female. They've been together for a few years now, and of course, my best friend wants me to be her maid of honor. That's actually kind of cool. They've known each other for a long time since she was always hanging out at my house, but I didn't know they were close until I came home from grad school and found out they'd been dating. I thought they'd have their fun for a minute, then break up, and we'd all laugh about it someday. It's clearly no longer the plan. Clearly no longer. Why would you say that? When was that ever the plan? I mean, okay, that's weird. Because here's my problem. I'm in love with her. Oh! I've been since before I really knew what being in love was. For me, the sun doesn't rise in the morning before I talk to her. She's the light of my life. Okay. Oh gosh. That just added a whole lot more to this. She doesn't know I feel this way, or if she does, then there's a reason she didn't say anything. If she does, then there's a reason she didn't say anything. Maybe she didn't want to embarrass you, or, I mean, maybe she doesn't feel the same way, and that's why she didn't say anything. I feel like that is a reason that you could reasonably conclude with. I know she's straight, she knows I'm not. And I always expected to stand at her side one day while she got married to a man. I've accepted that. I know she loves me, even if it's not the exact way I love her. As long as she's in my life, I'm happy. But this isn't just some guy I can politely ignore and forget about. It's my brother. Okay. So it sounds like OP knew that this would always happen. So they're not upset about their friend getting married. They're like, it's my brother. So, wow. Okay. So far, I don't think this is a reason to ditch your friend. Like, I know you're not happy with your brother, but come on. Don't do that. If you're wondering, yes, he knows how I've always felt about her. We never sat down and spoke about it, but he's not an idiot, and here's when I talk about her. He's always been awkward mentioning their relationship around me, and extra much so when he pulled me aside a few months back to tell me he was proposing. I was hoping the feeling of betrayal would fade away with time, but if I'm being honest, it hasn't. Okay, I don't see that as betrayal. I mean, you knew your friend was straight, okay? They got together. You knew they've been in a relationship. Like, he's not betraying you because, I'm sorry, but if your brother doesn't propose and doesn't marry your friend, she's going to marry someone else. She's not going to change her mind. I mean, still, I know he makes her happy and she makes him happy too. So I've done my best to power through all their bliss so far, but the upcoming wedding has just made it worse and worse. It would be bad enough as a guest, but they want me to stand next to them, to make a speech about what they both mean to me, to hand them the rings. All the while, my best friend has been gushing about how happy she is, how she can't wait to be his wife and have children with him. Every teeny little thing he does for her, and I can't help but feel that I was really just one chromosome away from being in his place. Oh my gosh. I feel like the Little Mermaid walking barefoot on glass and unable to say anything about it. What? What does that mean? Walking barefoot on glass? Okay. One, I don't get what you're saying there. But two, there's that saying that if you love someone, you should let them go. I just feel like if you, I don't know how to say this. You shouldn't be this upset. Honestly, you should. I feel like you shouldn't. Like, yes, you can feel hurt and upset, like on the inside, but I feel like you're. I don't know. Let's read the rest and like give me a minute to like think about it. I don't think I have the strength to be in that wedding. I'm already miserable. I've always been the fun one, but I just don't have it in me anymore. I can't just stand down. I just can't. I can't just stand down now either. She wouldn't understand, and I'd have to explain, which could lead to a world of hurt. What? I don't want to ruin this for them. She's still my best friend, and he's still my brother. So Reddit, would I be the butthole if I just faked sick or something on the day and ditched the wedding? Yes. I'm sorry. This isn't school. You can't just do that. And you talk about you don't want to unleash a whole world of hurt on her, but it would be an even bigger world of hurt if you just didn't show up without a reasonable explanation. Because I'm sorry, but being like, oh, well, I'm sick, I can't go, like the day before or the day of, when do they want to say it? Yeah, I'm sorry, but like just faking sick like a couple days before. What if they find out about this later? What if your friend and your brother find out about what you did later? That they're never going to trust you again. They might even resent you for that. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a big deal for both of them. And if you love them, you should be there for them. Like, I understand that it hurts you, OP. I really understand. But at the same time, hurting other people is not going to fix your feelings. It's going to make you feel worse. Because 20 years down the line, you're going to remember what you did and you're going to be so upset that you missed that. And I mean, I know I'm saying you're going to. You might not. But I really feel like you would regret that. Not going to the wedding, not being the maid of honor, and not supporting your best friend and your brother. Like, that's not cool. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5. I'm sorry. Like, just, I really feel like you're very jealous of your brother. I mean, that's clear. I think you outright said you're jealous of your brother. But if you love someone, you should let them go. If you really, really love your friend, you should support her being with your brother because that's what makes her happy. And I think you not being there, they'll remember that as a part of their day. They'll remember you ditching as the maid of honor. Especially if you're supposed to give a speech or something, they're going to remember that. And now with all these like wedding videos and stuff, like they're going to be able to rewatch that. They're going to know that you weren't there. There's going to be missing parts of that video because you weren't there. So I'm sorry, but 3.5 out of 5. That's just not cool. That's the end of this video. This was like a new thing I was trying, so we'll see how it goes. Comment down below if you think I should do it again. And let me know some other subreddits I could read from. Because I really like reading from Am I the Butthole? I think it's really interesting to hear how people think through situations differently. But I know there's like entitled parents, choosing beggars, all this other stuff. So just like, let me know down below. Also, if you have some, put links down below and I'll go see. I try to preview these and make sure that they're not like super inappropriate or anything or controversial. So, yeah, if you can, just please don't make them inappropriate or controversial. And yeah, thank you for watching. There will be another senior vlog at some point. So like this video, subscribe if you possibly want to see another Reddit video, or if you want to see the senior vlog series, which there will be one on the end card here or here again. I just posted the Wish Week one, which that was super fun. And yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm on other social medias, link in the description. And yeah.